Hello, my favorite traders. Today is Monday, August 22nd. We are in the second week of our small account challenge where I am trading the micro E-mini S&P 500 futures. So today we had a strong enough sell-off on the daily chart that it looks like we're pretty much forming a pullback back down to 4,000. So we had an overnight sell-off in the Globex session where we started out at, let me just pull my chart. This is my 15-minute chart here. We started out at 42.21.75 and we sold off all the way down to 41.80.25. So this would indicate really strong bearish action where we could see us going back down to 4,000. Because if you look here at my markers, last week's low was 41.13 and we are now at 41.44.50. So we're not too far away, and it wouldn't be a stretch for us to go down another 100 points and hit that 4,000 number. My plan today was, my thesis was I was going to see if ES could hold above the 41.65 level, and if not, if we broke below 41.60 right here that you can see, then I would look to target shorts going all the way down to 41.51 down to 41.37. So that was my plan. However, my plan did not work out the way that I wanted it to. Today, I am feeling emotionally compromised. I feel I have personal stuff going on. I have business stuff going on. And a lot of it is not allowing me to be in my ideal frame of mind for trading. So I just want to say, like, if you feel like this, that you feel a little bit off, it's better just to sit on your hands and not trade when you're not 100% on your mental game, because trading uses a lot of what traders like to call mental capital, where you have to process information quickly, you have to make good decisions, and if you're not feeling 100%, odds are you're just going to screw up your account, which is what I did today. So let me show you my activity today on the micros. I basically was waiting for this breakdown to occur. I thought that we were gonna just have kind of a sharp breakdown after 41.64, and then go on down to 41.44. So every time I entered, I would be up a couple of points. I'd get stopped out. I'd go back in. I'd be up a couple of points. I'd get stopped out at break even. So it was really kind of back and forth. And one of the things that I noticed was today I needed to have a wider stop because the average true range on the 5-minute chart was about 4.26 points. So that means that I needed to have my stop far enough away that I wouldn't get stopped out in the whipsaw, but close enough that I could protect my profit, which just did not work out today. So I had several entries and nothing worked out, which netted me a loss today of $435 in my account. You can see a lot of my entries are basically very tiny profits where I'm just getting stopped out. And then they are paper cut losses where I was attempting to go long, thinking that we were definitely going to break back up. And then we didn't. So I attempted to go short. But even though my initial thesis was short, I was looking at the market and I guess I just wasn't processing it correctly, that I kept trying to go long when I shouldn't have. The top wicks really threw me today. And also too, in the market, we had really low volume So the volume was super low. The volatility was just not there that we needed. And two, the VIX was up. So what I like to look at is I like to look at VIX. So VIX was on a rise today, which if you're looking at the volatility index, if VIX is up, that means the market is down. They have an inverse relationship to each other. And then what I also like to look at is I like to look at the top 10, the top I think it's the top 7 holdings of the S&P and kind of see how that's trading. So what I've done here on my trading view is I've basically linked all of these symbols together. So they're the top 7 holdings of the S&P 500. And it gives me an idea of how all of those individual underlying securities are doing as well. So we can see here that they were down 65 points. Everything pretty much gapped down the same way that the S&P did. And we were in this range where we went down, we took a leg up, we just basically kept stopping out, and then we took another leg down. So let's get back into the S&P. Let's get back into ES, and I will show you what I could have done. So I tried to trade here in B session, and B session for me is 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. I am on Central Time. So that's why I was trying to go long, and it just wasn't working out. Then we see here my actual initial short thesis played out. We broke down under this 4160 level, and we took a beautiful move down all the way to 4132. So in hindsight, I should have focused on trading C and D session and left A and B session alone because they did me no favors. So let's do my favorite hindsight trading exercise where I go through and identify setups that I could have taken had I been more objective and been paying attention to what the actual price action was showing me versus what I thought the market was going to do, right? And I do this little exercise basically every evening after the market's closed because I want to train my mind to recognize these patterns and these movements so I can be aware of them and I can capitalize on them next time. So we see here when the market opened up at 8:30, we had this nice down channel that went from 41.81 all the way down to 41.52. And then we had a wedge up right here. And when price moves in this like tight little wedge up, it usually indicates that we have more bearish action to follow, which we did. We had these two strong bear bars, 4160 to 4151. So this served as our range that we were stuck in from about 9:50 to noon. So I'm going to mark this here. And this right here is the chop and consolidation that I should have stayed out of, but I started getting into it right around here, close to the 10 o'clock hour is when I started trying to see if my longs would actually work. And they did, but they they worked for a little bit and I got stopped out. And then it worked for a little bit, I got stopped out. It was like Sisyphus pushing a rock up a hill only to have it roll back down again. So not smart on my end, but live and learn, right? So that's the whole purpose of why we trade. We trade to trade our process and to get better every single day. And by trading our process, the money is a byproduct of having a solid process. So we can see here that this was the area that I attempted to go long right here. And the reason why it didn't work is you see these bottom wicks here and these top wicks. So all of this represented indecision, right? So we would move from 4160 to 41.64. Then we'd move back down to 41.60. So there's no clear price action here. So this signifies just stay out of it, which is what I should have done. I should have just stayed out of it. And then we had more wedges occurring that were followed by bear bars, really strong bear bars. Like each of these bear bars, if I get my little measurement tool right here, each of these bear bars were about 7 points. Let's measure the other one. Yeah, this one's 5.5. And then this other one, whoops. This other one's about 4. So we can see these are really strong bear bars. And I want to show you this one pattern that I like, in that I was actually on a phone call when this pattern occurred, which caused me to miss this move. So you see here how you have like this nice little bullish bar followed by this next one, followed by it looks like almost like a little hammer bar right there. So you see how price is going up, but it's also forming like this really tight wedge, kind of like flat top right there. That little setup right there indicates possible bearish action. And the way you would play that is once this 5-minute bar closes, it's basically at the same level at the start of this bar, and then you would enter right underneath there and you would place your stop here at the top of the highest point. And then you would go short and see what the market gives you at that point. And then also too, we have another continuation setup here where we have a nice bull flag right here. So a bull flag is basically like this. It's an upside down flag that indicates more bearish action to follow once price breaks down. So you could have gotten into this trade right here. We would put our stop at the highest point here, which would be right there. We'd enter at 41.55 and we would sit in that trade until 41.35. So that trade would have been a nice 20-point move had I been able to capitalize on that. So what I'm going to work on tomorrow is I am going to work on just waiting for my setups to occur and trigger versus trying to force action in the market. And then the other thing too is I've kind of been playing around with trading off of the 3,000 volume chart versus the 5-minute chart. And I think I'm just going to use the 3,000 volume chart as reference, but trade specifically off of the 5-minute chart, or maybe look at the 2-minute to see what's kind of going on. Because I think that's going to help me manage my trades better. Because if I am basing all of my analysis off the 5-minute chart, I'm kind of confusing myself a little bit trading from the 3,000 volume chart, where everything is now different. It's not the same candles and the same setup that I'm looking for. So here we have a little bull channel coming up here. Then we have another area of consolidation right here. And then we have, actually, I would say this area of consolidation would be right here. And then you have a bear bar down. And then towards the close, you have a move up from 41.32 to 41.35. So all in all, A little bit of a tricky day today. We opened at 41.43. The high of the day was 41.45. The low was 41.36. Well, no, 41.31 was the low. So pretty much a really kind of tight trading range for today until we hit the 12 o'clock hour, 1 o'clock Eastern hour, where we started to massively sell off. And that was a good sell off trend that you could have jumped in at any point in time and made some coins off of that. So that is my trading analysis for today. Let me show you my net performance was I am down $435 in my small account challenge for today. That's my net loss. So I hope that helps, and I will be back tomorrow with another day of the small account challenge. Hope you had a profitable day. Thanks for watching. If you like this, please like and subscribe and hit the bell notification to get notified of new videos. And thank you for watching.